Hi, Scorpio. Happy June. I hope you're doing well. Okay. This could go so many different ways. I'm only going to hit it from one way and try to flip it a few different other short versions of it here. But I think that there's obsessions in here. I think there's old things that need to be really let go of. I think someone's got a lot of hatred, obsession, a big imbalance in here that should cover it from A to Z. There's an unhealthy obsession in here. Okay, we come in with the energy of the Six of Coins. Okay, you've got what you think the issue is the Knight of Wands. What it really is the Six of Cups. Okay, so you combine those two, and the future is holding the Three of Swords. Your advice in here is the Hermit card. What does not work for you is the Two of Cups. What works for you is the Tower in reverse, and I left it that way so that you can see it, right? Your outbound card is the Judgment card. And you've got, again, this King of Wands, he fell out. When that person shows up in a reading, in like a relationship reading, which I think that there's parts of that through here, but I think that this is just, like I say, I can't hit it from every angle. When he shows up here in a reading, if I'm doing a relationship reading, and maybe it's just me, I'm not quite sure, but when he shows up in a relationship read, he's never the person's spouse. He's always somebody else's spouse. He's already married, but never usually to the person that I'm reading it about. He can also show up in here as a counselor, as some kind of mediator, as some kind of court appointed something. He can show up in here as someone who is over this situation. You know, it would be like, you know, example would be your mortgage kind of owns your house. You don't own your house. You know what I mean? Something like that. He could show up in somewhere that he's got power over you somehow in here. Now, you come in with the energy card of the Six of Coins. I feel in here that you're trying so hard to hang on to something. It's more of a possession or a possessive kind of feeling where I think it can really lead you down a bad path. I think it can have the counter outcome that you're looking for. You know what I mean? This could be an obsession too. It could be something like that where it's just, it's not healthy. You know, it can also be that you're so terrified of losing something or someone, it's more than likely someone, that it becomes almost a paranoia. You know what I mean? So it's very easy for me to say that, but I just got a feeling that it's not something that is as simple as me saying, just let it go. It's past that point where it's like possessed you. You know what I mean? It's a stronger kind of, a little bit harder to let go of those things, right? Now you've got the Knight of Wands in here, and you notice he's charging in the past. Okay, so I feel that this is in and out action, very, very quick. Like someone comes in really quick, they depart really quick, they're not around often. You know, it's kind of like the ghosting kind of people, right? But this, I think, is just, I think it's something you can't break, something you keep going back to, right? I think the Six of Cups, if this is a relationship that you can't get past, you know what I mean? Because sometimes that is, it's not so much that it's the feeling you're looking for. It's the feeling that whatever it was made you feel like. Most likely whole, like that Six of Cups. But you're thinking that the relationship of the past or whatever is what made you feel whole at that point, but it really wasn't. And my fear here is that you're feeding the wrong wolf here. You're going the wrong way. And the future holds the Three of Swords for you, right? Sometimes we need to go back. Maybe there's a past pattern. You know what I mean? There's a past something that you're not able to get past, right? Maybe you think someone or something is limiting you in some way, but I assure you it's only you who's doing that. Now the Three of Swords, that's telling you to really, really get out from under these patterns. Start to make some more practical. Try to be practical, rational. Try to set, if this is a court case, try to set the he said, she said's apart and try to be as practical and rational as possible in this. You know what I mean? This could be something that, too, on the flip side, just won't go away. You know what I mean? But I don't feel that that's the case. I feel that it's something you're not able to get over or past, or you're still hanging on to. Your advice in here is the Hermit, right? And my advice to you also in here, and I feel it very strongly, is, again, I feel like you're chasing the wrong wolf here. Before you go trying to explore something, try to make sure that what you're doing is really worth your time and your effort, or if you're just, like I say, going in the wrong direction here. And that's what I truly feel that you really need to ask yourself and be true about it. Because that Six of Cups is like, yeah, I want my ex back, you know, but it's not, I'm telling you, it's not the ex that you want back. It's that feeling you had. You don't want to feel pain anymore. You know what I mean? But sometimes we think that, you know, if we could mirror how things were at a good point in our lives, that would recreate the feeling. But what you don't realize is that you are that feeling. You can recreate that for you anywhere you go. You're not going to find what you're looking for chasing the past. And I'm going to bring this up in here, and I don't know why the hell I'm even thinking about this, but it's like that movie Pet Sematary. And I remember watching that so long ago, and I was just like in awe because it was just, I obviously still think about it, so it had some kind of impact on me, but you're not going to get back what you're looking for in any way, shape, or form is where I'm going with that. You know, it's you can't go back ever. You know what I mean? But you can keep the happy memories and have them help you set you free. You know what I'm saying? You're not looking for the experience all over again, because I'm sure if this was a conquest and you got it back, very soon into it, you would be thinking, oh my gosh, now I know why this was my ex. You're looking for the happy feeling that you had, and you can gain that again, but you want to turn your horse around and get going in the opposite direction, right? Because what works against you is that Two of Cups. That's what's working against you. And it's not wanting to talk about this. You know what I mean? It's also, too, a card of it's going to hit your health in some regard if it hasn't already. I feel it does, because I think that, you know, you've got to, it affects you on all levels. And again, like I say, you think that somehow maybe talking to this person or talking about this situation is going to help you. It's not. It's not. And it's I would say maybe try to talk to someone about it. You know what I mean? Counseling is coming up really, really strong in a lot of the readings. And it's just, you know, sometimes we need to talk it out just to find a different approach to it, just to find the one missing link that sets us free, honestly. And now what does work for you is the Tower card, right? But you've got to let that go. You've got to be able to have a breakdown. Have a breakdown. honestly, it cracks you so wide open that you see what you need to see and it sets you free. But I don't think you're willing to really express how something has really affected you. Guys, the things that we fail at or that we think we failed at, we really didn't, because there can be some kind of resolve in there that really changes your life going forward, right? This could be too someone saying something to you or making you feel extremely incompetent. You know what I mean? Or you may realize that, hey, I shouldn't be crossing these lines on the work front, and I am. But you know what? Once you know that, you can do something about it, right? It's an incentive to like improve the way that you do things, how you live your life, your work ethic, your morals, all of that, right? Nobody's perfect here. We all have many, many faces and many, many hats that we wear here. But with the Tower card in reverse, and it's the card that works for you, that's going to create some kind of duality in there. You know what I mean? It's wanting to be independent. It's wanting freedom. This could be something too where the real hiccup is, I want to be in a relationship, but I want to be single also. That could be the dilemma in here. But it's in reverse, and it's just saying you've got to, if that's the case, you can, there's ways to do that. It's just with proper planning. You know what I mean? That's actually very, very healthy, but it appears that there's a lot of unhealthy behavior in here. You know what I mean? It could be a relationship somehow that really just grabbed you, and it's become too much. Like someone has now possessed you, you know? But the Judgment card on the outbound there, that card is also saying that you've got to take the choices in your life a lot more seriously than you are, because they turn into, it's kind of like walking against one of those big industrial fans. It's not going to serve you. You know what I mean? You're going to have to be honest with yourself and look at where these things come from. And like I say, sometimes it's harder to face those things, but what I can see in here is you're going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way. You're focusing on the wrong things. And your advice card is to really be sure that where you're putting your time and your effort and your focus is really going in a positive direction, or whether you're heading in the wrong direction. This is past, and this is a pattern. Right? They're blockages. They're things that keep you, if you're in a relationship still and it's on the rocks, so to speak, and the problem is that you're not allowing yourself to be vulnerable. The person has no clue where the heck you're coming from. You know what I mean? They just know that you're in and you're out, you're in and you're out, and they can't make two tails about what you're doing. Talk about it. Talk to them. You know what I mean? It could be something like that too. But these are pretty powerful cards. The Judgment card and the Tower card in reverse with the Hermit card is saying you've got to start looking at what you're doing and why you're doing it. I think there's forgiveness in here too, which I also saw in the Libra reading. Sometimes we make more out of something than it needs to be. You know what I mean? I think this is a relationship here. This could be something, this could be, you know, a marriage that never took place. It could be one that failed. It could be in the work arena. It could be with your friends. It could be how you engage with people. It could be a pattern that you picked up in the past of not being able to express yourself, so that when you get in relationships that are potentially really good, people don't know where you're coming from because you're not talking about anything. You know what I mean? But your advice card with the Hermit in here is just saying, I think you're trying to open some closets here that don't need to be opened. You know what I mean? You need to turn your horse around and go the other way. Put your house upright. have the breakdown that you need, scream, do whatever it is that you need, go for a run, do something, talk it out. That could be a counselor, right? But the Judgment card is saying you've got to forgive something in here. You can't, there's a statute of limitations. If there is something in your past that you're still letting control you, that's on you. Let it go. Let it go. Life is extremely short. People do shitty things, but you got past it. You survived, so you can pull it in a different direction. You know what I mean? Life is short. Life is short. It's not pleasant to be vulnerable, but you know what? It's very freeing. So that's what I think your advice is. The Tower card in here, I really do think, I don't think it's a shock and awe. It comes out of nowhere at you. I think it's something that's got you like at a breaking point. And that would actually be a positive. You know what I mean? We need to sometimes be broken wide open to put the pieces back together. But the card that doesn't work for you is that Two of Cups. So I think it could be affecting your health is where I think that that's coming from. And if this is someone who this relationship, the issue is the not talking, talk about something. Let them at least know where you're in. Even if it's like, hey, you know what? I'm not a real big talker. I don't really do good with expressing my feelings, but this is where I'm at. And again, it's more how you say what you say. So try to be calm. Realize that the person on the receiving end, imagine how you would feel, so try to be a little bit more sensitive in maybe your delivery on something. But again, I think someone is really, really chasing the wrong train here. So there you go, Scorpio. I hope that I helped you in some way. This relationship is a lot. It's a strong one. It's got a lot of emotional tugging in here. A lot of, I just think what you're looking for is in the wrong direction. You know what I mean? This is one of those, okay, the Four of Cups. Again, that can be someone trying to offer you something, right? Something new, but you may not want to hear anything about it because you're stuck here. The Five of Swords. And it's probably because you're punishing yourself. The Five of Swords is a card of maturity. It's needing to talk about and look at things differently and behave differently. See any similarities? There's a crown. Here's the King, right? Nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. Not you, not other people. Cut some people some slack. Cut yourself some slack. But then go in a proper direction. Go in a direction that pulls your life forward. Okay? And there you go. The Four of Wands, that's moving forward, right? That's solid foundation, and that's what you're looking for in your life is a solid foundation. Okay, so there you go. It's also, if you're worried about something, the Four of Coins is a card of financial stability. Okay, so there you go.